Week 8, fantasy football in the books. It's on to week 9. A lot of crazy things happened this past week. We got injuries. We got trades. It's about to go down right here on What's Your Fantasy. And we got those must add-ons for week 9. Stick around. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, all the fans of fantasy football out there? Welcome to What's Your Fantasy Football Show with your host, the WayneBreezie, Crystal Peachy B. Listen, pardon me for my attire. I got hot. I feel like I'm having hot flashes at the age of 43, and I had to come out the hoodie. Now, you know, on the East Coast, it's hoodie season. It's officially hoodie season. But I had to come out the hoodie, so yeah, that's what it is. Peachy, how you doing? And shout out to everybody out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if this is your first time watching. Peachy, what's going on? How you doing? And how's fantasy football treating you? And before you add, there's a league that we're in together. That I can't win. I can't win a week. The fuck? What's going on? I'm like 2-6. Is my season dead? And I'm 2 you're 4-4. I had to check. I had to make sure to see how far you are ahead of me in that faithfully. I'm never doing that shit again. Not much. I'm 2-6. Like, how am I losing every week?
It's crazy. Because as you will see in a minute, these players cannot freaking stay healthy this year. I think that I am going to hit up these fantasy places or whatever. It might actually help us out. And I'm going to say you need to put little wheelchair things like on all these different things or whatever.
Because today's, they got to find a different way to do it because today's time is a little too sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm with you. I'm with you because I'm lost in the sauce. I'm like 2-6
crutches
is
something. I need crutches on there.
No, you know, this is what I need. You know what I need? I need Jesus to come and resurrect my team right now. I know he's in the resurrection business, and I need my team to be fully resurrected. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything I could do. I would literally have to win out to make it to the playoffs.
You really would, yeah. And
I'm trying. Yeah. Like, you know how you go 2-6 and people, because they forget to put people in their lineups. Yeah. Not me. I'm waiver wiring. I'm figuring out matchups. I'm trying to win. And then in that league, there's a person that's 7-1.
Crazy.
I gotta go check their team out. All right, I'm sorry I ran it. Peachy, let's get to these goddamn injuries because you said that there's a reason why. And you know what? Before we get to the injuries, there's some breaking news. Let's talk about the breaking news.
All right.
Colts plan to start Joe Flacco.
Yes.
About time. The freak.
Bench Anthony Richardson. Benched him. So when you do that, we already know what that means. They know that barring anything with Flacco is the guy going through because these Colts are trying to make some noise in the AFC. And that's what they need to do. Now, my question is this.
Uh-oh.
They had Joe Flacco out there because Richardson got hurt and Flacco had to play, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is like, I don't understand why it should be any different than any other time when a player loses their job. Quarterbacks have done this before to injury because they get hurt and the other player is performing well enough. Flacco was doing great for the Colts. So
okay, I got the answer.
I do understand the pressure. He's a top 5 pick in the draft.
No, that's not the answer.
And they were trying and they were trying to do whatever. Now it's another story. It could be like a long session on developing, not having the right people there to develop him. Not exactly sure. I also think that there might be some inside stuff going on about how he performed this last game and kind of what he did during the game that has caused so much massive hysteria because of what he did. Then I think that was just the last straw for the Colts, and I think they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna go with Flacco.
I mean, well, the reports are out that they're giving him a break, and
Well, yeah, because he couldn't breathe. So because he asked to time out, like he literally has to.
I mean, it's football,
sit
so
out.
like I don't question people when they say they're hurt. I don't question people when they say stuff like that. I just don't. People get hit the wrong way. This guy's been injured. He got injured last year, kept him out for the season. So he lost a whole 3/4 of the season. He played in two games.
Yeah.
And he lost all of that last year. So I don't question injuries. If you say you injured, you injured. I got to move on. I got to manage the team. I got to keep this team going. I got to keep the team in the game.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to question it. And right now, the team is in a state where they can compete against.
Yes.
First of all, the Tennessee Titans are 1-6, and I know this isn't the NFL show. We'll get to fantasy, I promise. But the Tennessee Titans are 1-6, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're done. Stick a fork in them. Call them
Yeah.
crazy. They're done. The Houston Texans, on the other hand, is the team that they've got to compete with, and they're 6-2, right? And so where are the Colts standing in that division as of right now? I'm looking for the Colts record, so bear with me. The Colts are at 500. Guess what? They're where the Niners are. And
Yep.
which team am I missing in that division? The Saints?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. I'm sorry. So Jacksonville's 2-6. So you kind of got two teams that are probably going to be out of the hunt.
Yep.
And you got a quarterback in Joe Flacco that just understands football right now. At this point, he's a veteran. He's a Super Bowl champion. And I think they're trying to compete. And if Jonathan Taylor is healthy, bingo, dingo, whatever, that helps. And then you got receivers that can get open down the field. They're open. You got Alec Pierce. You got Josh Downs. He caught an amazing pass though from Anthony Richardson last week. That junk was crazy. But they didn't call it a touchdown. Remember they called it back. They said he got his butt cheek was down or something like before the end zone. Anyway, I'm just saying they got these guys. I don't know where Michael Pittman Jr. is, but they got players. So you might as well put Flacco out there now. Do you want to pick up Flacco off the waiver? We'll save that for later on in the show. Peachy might have some insight on that. But I did want to get to this other news. The Panthers have traded wide receiver Deontay Johnson to the Baltimore Ravens, all right, for some picks, like a swap of a pick, 5th or 6th round pick or something like that, right?
Yep.
Deontay Johnson's going to Lamar Jackson.
He's going to be back in the AFC North, where he started from Pittsburgh.
Oh, the
'cause he came from
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
And I think the Steelers are the best team in the AFC North because of the defense.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, can Russell Wilson be dangerous against that Ravens defense, which gives up way too many points?
Yes.
What is going? Oh, but they do have the injury to the DB. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. He didn't play in the last game.
Kyle Hamilton.
Nope, Hamilton's good. They're like their nickelback.
I cannot think of the name of him.
Remember the one that was talking trash about the Niners and then he backed it up?
Oh, I can't think of his name.
I want to say Jimmy Smith, but that don't sound right.
Got you.
Anyway,
So,
he was
we have
out.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so him being out is allowing teams to like tee off. They need him back ASAP. Remember, he got hurt on the interception play that he got 2 games
That's
ago.
right.
So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens with
remember
that. But this is good for the Ravens and fantasy football owners because now he's going to have a target that he's going to trust.
Yep.
And
You're
no
right.
disrespect to Zay Flowers, but now it's going to open up the field. Because didn't Rashad Bateman, didn't he get hurt? Like something happened to Rashad Bateman.
I think
No?
that he did get hurt. He's also the one that dropped that.
He dropped the
Game
wide open.
Whoa. That is I think that's a
Nah,
that's
they can't do that to him.
red light
They can't do that to him,
Bateman,
Peachy. They can't do that to
Get
him.
his stuff together.
They can't.
Like,
No,
he
they
better-
can't do that to him because the last game he won the game.
He's on high alert.
I disagree with that because the game prior he won it. Let's just keep it a buck. There was the Sun. Remember who? The other team player dropped the pass too, and it was the Sun. The Sun was in their eye at that moment on that particular part of the field. Now, I'm not blaming it on the Sun, but you did see the Sun, and so both teams did drop key critical passes. But he was wide open, man. All right, anyway, that's the breaking news in the NFL. If you want to pick these guys up, Flacco should be on the waivers. Deontay Johnson is somewhere on somebody's roster. And if you want him, you might want to trade for him because now he's going to have a competent quarterback throwing him the ball. Let's get to the injury report. Peachy, what you got? Here are the major ones that just happened. And then Peachy has a list of the other injuries.
Okay. All right. So, good news, we have Derek Carr that is coming back this week for the Saints. I'm sure they're like, hallelujah.
Wait, they're
praise
2-6,
the Lord.
PG.
I know they are.
Are they done?
No, not in the NFC South.
Hold
not
up.
yet.
Let me. I like this. I like we're able to have this conversation. 2-6, 1-7.
Mm-hmm.
They play each other this week, so that's the Saints versus the Panthers.
Yes.
All right, help me find these other teams. Who am I missing? Tampa Bay is 4-4.
Mm-hmm. The Falcons, which are
and
leading
then
the division.
The Falcons are leading the division. I cannot motherfucking believe that the Falcons.
I know, right?
Freaking Kirk
So
Carr.
their division is about as bad as our division.
They're 5-3 though. They're 5-3. Their division is worse. We don't have any teams that have 2 or 1 game wins.
So they do have a shot. So I know they are very happy to get Derek Carr.
I'm happy to get Derek Carr back.
Because now you can put it back in. Now your receivers.
Chris Olave.
Whatever.
They're missing Rashid.
Yeah. Shaheed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited because Derek Carr is coming back, and that's never happened in my life.
Never. Jordan Love has a growing strain, but he's looking to come back this week.
I don't know.
I'm a little nervous about that dude. Even I don't know what's but anyway. Quarterback Drake May has a concussion. He's not playing this week.
Oh, he's already ruled out.
They have him as very doubtful,
Dang.
according to his coach.
I can't watch Jacoby Brissett play football, man.
That's right.
Sorry, Patriot fans.
But he did beat the Jets. He did beat Aaron Rodgers.
It just makes us feel like when we whip their behinds on Monday Night Football, I mean, they're just a bad team now. And it sucks.
Horrible team. And then we have Sterling Shepard, who has a hamstring. He's going to be out for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, that happened last night.
Mm-hmm. DK Metcalf is scheduled to return this week. So that's some great news for you guys that have DK. Because if you're like me, it's annoying at the most.
I had DK and Kenneth
Walker
the 15th. Mm-hmm. He needs to be out there in the 23rd. Louis the 13th. I'm just saying, dang, he ain't do nothing for me last week. And Zach Charbonnet got the points. Yes.
I was watching that.
I was pissed.
I actually had money on that, so it really made me mad because
Not good.
Charbonnet decided to I'm like, whatever. The Seattle tight end TJ Hawkinson is coming back finally this week. So that'll give you another tight end to come back.
He missed his day, though.
I know.
He missed his day.
He missed tight end's day. He didn't make it, but that works. And then we have
they got Indy this week too, Peachy.
Right. And then we have season ending news.
Okay.
We have Christian Kirk. Collarbone out for season.
Broken collarbone.
Yeah. Sucks because
crazy. He was on the trade wire. He was on the trade block.
I think that the Niners was probably going to get him.
I think that was the player that they were going to go after. Too.
I think that was who it is.
You mentioned something to me earlier, and I was just like, you said something, and I was like, that's because there's a different player available. Right. I don't ever think it was Deontay Johnson. It was always Christian Kirk.
I really think that it was Kirk because the Niners were, discussing maybe trading for one. And then all of a sudden they're like, I think we're just going to roll with who we got. Because I'm telling you that it was probably Kirk. It's probably who we were trying to go after. And then wide receiver Stephon Diggs, some bad news. ACL is out for the season.
I seen it the moment
he went
bad. Down to the ground.
Yeah, I knew it.
The moment he went down to the ground, I saw the knee.
Yeah.
And I said, no.
Yeah.
No. It's unfortunate because now the Texans. This can affect the Texans in so many ways.
Oh, it 100% can.
Because now their receivers, until Nico Collins can't return for I think another week or two.
Yeah.
Because he's
I think
on the
2 weeks,
IR.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep. And so now it's Xavier Hutchinson.
Yes.
It's guys that we don't know.
Right.
And it's Tank Dell.
Yep.
And Tank Dell, maybe if you got Tank Dell, put him in your lineup. He's gonna be their number one.
Yeah. 100%. I agree with that. So then we have only two teams on the bye week this week, the 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, the Niners and the Steelers Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl preview matchup. My bad. That's what I meant to say. Well, the Steelers are contenders. They can 6-2, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe
Pittsburgh's been really good
that the Steelers are that? Like, and yeah, the Niners are 4-4. Interesting. Hey, good news. The Chiefs play the Bucks this weekend. So if you're a Niner fan, we rooting for the motherfucking Chiefs. Ain't that a Mitch?
I know.
I can't do it. I can't
either. Like I can't.
I'm going to do
formulate my.
Oh no, but I tell you, we're gonna do it because we want the Bucks to lose. This is about NFC now.
Right.
This is all about the NFC. When you 4-4, you need some help.
You're right. Exactly.
And Kansas City at home. And Tampa ain't got no receivers.
Right. I was going to say all the receivers are gone basically. So I would say it's going to be interesting. But
it's any given Monday. It's on Monday Night Football.
Right. That's your injuries. What we got?
All right. So you got your 2 bye games. You got your injury report. Let's get to the top 10 fantasy football leaders PPR in week 8. And that number 1 motherfucking name is CD Lamb. Look, Lamb was shut down this whole game until the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Whole game. Peachy, guess what? I just did the defensive film, and everything was explained defensively what ended up happening. The first touchdown to CD Lamb was because Malik Mustafa got confused if he was supposed to be playing man or zone. And when he realized he was in zone, he just stayed in man and said, F it. I'm not going to try. He was supposed to play zone on that.
Is that the one where he was so wide open that he could have knitted a quilt?
Whatever you're wide open.
CD literally just couldn't believe it. Like he literally looked around like, where is that?
The Niners were in zone. He was playing man. The Niners were in man. He was playing zone. That's what happened.
God, it was so bad.
And he needed to have been the man to run over. Anyway, the second touchdown came because Ronaldo Green ran into Jair Brown. Jair Brown's trying to get to the flat, and Ronaldo Green's trying to cover his man. Honestly, I don't believe it was any of their faults. I thought CeeDee Lamb just did the right thing. It was a legal pick. Like, I'm just going to cancel you 2 out, and then I'm going to be wide open for a touchdown.
I'm just going to make you look like the Three Stooges.
Well, it's the same. Well, to be fair, the Niners did it twice in the game, and both was Chris Conley. And George Kittle caught the touchdown. So, look, I get it. Legal picks, that's what we'll call them. Number 1, CeeDee Lamb, 39.6 points in PPR. Jalen Hurts, number 2, 35.1. Bo Nix, if you didn't pick up Bo Nix.
Right.
Shame on you.
We told you about him.
Say it again.
We had him on the waiver
a couple times.
We told you to pick him up a couple of times. So we certainly did. We've had him on there. We told you guys.
I'm trying to do the right direction. Go back and watch them waiver wire shows.
We told you guys.
Yeah, he gone now.
He gone now. You can't get him at all.
He gone now. 29.8 points for Bo Nix. Right. Cade and if you picked him up, I believe he was on our show. If you picked him up, you got 29.1 points. Now, you have to know that is Baker Mayfield's number 1 target.
100%.
Moving forward. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how he's going to play against the Chiefs.
Right.
But that's, pick him up. Get him.
Yeah, I'm not liking Cade this week.
Lad McConkey, finally, rookie, showed up. I don't know how I feel about certain rookies, but I just think the matchup was good. 29.1 points. You had to play against him?
No, I'm mad at him because I had him on my bench because he hadn't been doing nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing. I had him on my bench.
Nothing. Not a damn thing. So you had a 2-way tie for 4th place. Number 6, Cedric Tillman, 28.9 points. Jameis Winston to Cedric Tillman. I can't believe I'm saying that. Number 7, Kirk Cousins, 28.6. Kirk Cousins had 4 touchdowns in the second
Insane.
half, by the
Yes.
first half.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins is just putting up numbers right now. So fantasy wise, I can't believe I dropped him. I need to go find him back.
Jalen Hurts had 3 rushing
TDs.
Like
man.
he just went mad.
I was so mad.
He literally turned back the clock and was like, I'm just gonna run these suckers in. Which sucks for people who had Saquon because he didn't have great of a day because of that.
All
Jalen
1
took
yard
his
touchdowns, right?
All
1 yard runs. Like just pushing.
Kept tush pushing and getting them in there.
Yeah. Yep. Number 8, James Cook from Buffalo, 28.3. Number 9, Devon Achane, 26.7. It's good to see him back. It's good to see Tua back
Good
too.
to see Tua back. He's changed that offense already.
Yeah, just already. Back. No Tyreek Hill flashes yet, but it's coming. I can promise you it's coming soon. Number 10, I forgot to put his damn name in there. That is disrespectful. Number 10, my apologies. Number 10, who is number 10? It's the infamous, the one and only, the league's MVP. Can you guess who it is? He had 26 fantasy points.
The league's MVP, Jared Goff.
Nah, you think Jared Goff's going to win MVP? Hell nah. He ain't winning because of Jared Goff. Really? Brock Purdy, number 10, 26
awesome.
points. My dumbass started. Who did I start over Brock Purdy? Jaden Daniels. I think I started Jaden Daniels over Brock Purdy.
Mr. Hail Mary himself.
That's the only thing that they had that saved them because that was the only touchdown in the game for them mother truckers. I was pissed.
That game was not good.
Yeah, all right.
I was very, very disappointed. I don't know what people are talking about that was the best game of the year. No, it wasn't.
Definitely wasn't.
No, it absolutely was not. My surprise before we get to this real quick had to be CeeDee Lamb because you couldn't have told me watching the way that we were taking care of him that he would have just exploded.
History would have told you that the Niners take him out.
Yes.
40 yards, 59 yards. He never had a game over 80 yards and any touchdowns until that day.
Wow. They should make them watch the film over and over and over again.
It was just literally like it was just miscommunication and young players messing up.
Right.
That's what it was. Honestly.
They won't ever do it again, I promise. I bet you that they
won't. Maybe not. All right, we got the waiver wire pickups for week 9. Number 1, Jameis Winston. You got to go get him. I don't care what he did last week, but whatever he did, they won the game. Like, they beat the Ravens. If a guy beats the Ravens, you got to find a way to get him on your fantasy football roster. And the reason why is because he put up, he wasn't bad. He was a top, hold on, bear with me, top 10 quarterback, put up 23.6 points. You can't be mad at him. And that was against the tough Ravens defense. Cleveland is playing this week. Who does the Cleveland Browns got this week? They got the Chargers, and their defense. Yeah.
Joey Bosa is not playing. I think there's about 3 other people out on defense.
You get what
Definitely
I'm saying?
Pick up Jameis if you need, especially if your quarterback that you have is on a bye, like Brock Purdy and Russell Wilson. Then you definitely want to try to get Jameis.
Yeah, you got to put him up. Chargers defense is giving up plenty of yards, plenty of points, and they're going to be looking to throw the ball down the field with my man Jameis Winston. Number 2, we talked about Tyrone Tracy before on this show.
Yes.
And if you don't have him by now, again, that's just a shame on you. Like, you got to get this kid if he's still available. He was the number 3 fantasy football running back, and last week, he might be number 1. He was the PPR. He was actually number 7. My apologies. There was other players that get more touches than him as far as in pass catching. But he put up 23 points last week against that tough Steelers defense on Monday Night Football. So you're going to want to pick him up. You're going to need a running back. Devin Singletary isn't it. Drop Devin. Pick up Tyrone Tracy. Right. He's the future of the Giants. And he looks like he's going to be nice out there on the football field. This week, who the Giants got? They got the Commanders. Good defensive front, but I like Tyrone Tracy.
I do too. I still like him. If you have a chance to pick up this dude, you need to. He is literally the future of the New York Giants as far as their running back. They love what this kid brings. He brings so much to this team. He's becoming their new Saquon, and it seemed like it's happened overnight. So if you can get Tyrone Tracy, you definitely want to grab him if he's still available.
All right. Did I miss a running back? I feel like I'm missing a running back. Nope, I'm not missing. Yo, there's the running back right there. Jaleel McLaughlin. Now, to be fair, it's tricky out there in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
It's tricky. But here's the thing. They're playing the Ravens. He put up 11-something points in PPR last week, which means he's going to be pass catching. He's going to be a guy out there. You might want to scoop this kid up because I don't know if it's going to be a Javonte Williams day or if it's going to be his day, but pick him up anyway, just because he's going to be playing the Ravens defense, and the Ravens give up a lot of points to running backs. A lot of them. And so, you have to get him. You just have to grab him. Last week, I'm trying to figure out what he put up last week. He put up 12.6 points in PPR last week. So you might want to grab him. He's a waiver wire piece. You don't have to keep him. But if you need some points this week, if you're missing a running back, you need a guy to fill in, you might want to get Jaleel McLaughlin. I like the matchups against the Ravens.
Me too.
And they'll probably use both running backs, and he'll be the one that gets you the most yards and PPR.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
We got some receivers on the docket, and the number one receiver for us, Cedric Tillman. It's funny because we were talking about him, or I was talking about him to somebody. I was like, who the hell do the Browns have to throw to after trading Amari Cooper? And it's Cedric Tillman and Elijah Moore, and they both are pretty good pickups this week. But you got to go with Cedric Tillman because he is beating the top off the defense, Peachy, and he also put up last week 28.9 points in fantasy football. He's the number 3 wide receiver last week against the Ravens secondary.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to be going up against a weaker secondary, and I can see Jameis Winston doing his thing.
Yep. I agree with you. I love the Cedric on the waiver wire. I know a lot of the wide receivers, like the ones that I put on my injury report, they're out. And so you're going to need one. So you definitely need to try to get Cedric Tillman if you can grab him.
Get him if you can grab him. We got an alert right now. Sound the alarm. New player making the waiver wire for the very first time. And it's wide receiver out of Holy Cross, rookie Jalen Coker. You got Steve Smith, big up co-signing this young fellow. Mm-hmm. I like this kid coming out of college. With the changing of the quarterback with Bryce Young, if he's going to be the starter, we don't know if he's starting or if Andy Dalton will be back. It seems like Young likes to go to Coker. He tried to hit Leggett down the field a couple times, but their timing is off. Mm-hmm. But this is the guy that was moving the chains for him. He put up 17.8 points. Mm-hmm. It's like a young Mike Evans. That's the vibe I'm getting from Mr. Coker right here. Any feedback on him and what's your thoughts?
The only thing that I want to say is, there's no more Deontay Johnson in Carolina.
That just hit me.
So you are literally going to want to do this dude. If you definitely are going to want to do this. He is going to be one of the main targets in Carolina now. So 100%, this is an excellent idea to pick him up on the waivers. Definitely going to be a lot more targets.
Agreed.
Coming for him since Johnson is no longer there.
Agreed. Now, I don't know. Ooh, there's a name that we have not talked about. And we'll save it for another show. I don't know when Thielen is coming back.
Oh, yeah.
That might be the Niners receiver. Okay. Sorry, wrong show. That might be it. That might just hold off. Tight end, number 1. Again, the Broncos. They got a plethora of these guys. But it's about time they start throwing to the 6'8" Adam Troutman because he had a day. And I mean a day on tight end day. And I don't know, man, between Cade Otton, Adam Troutman was number 6 as far as fantasy football tight ends. This is a young kid in his second season, 18.5 points he put up last week. I think this is why Bo Nix is playing relatively well.
Yes.
And you might want to go grab the big fella up. They got a couple of tight ends out there I feel like we talk about, but Adam Troutman should be their number 1 tight end in my opinion because he just has the size. And this is a guy that can get you could throw the ball to just about anywhere on the football field. What are your thoughts on Troutman?
It seems like every National Tight Ends Day, there's always a tight end that was in the shadows that comes out. And after he comes out, then he just takes over. And he's, when they realize, oh, wow, I didn't know we had this. So now that I do, so I definitely love this Troutman. He's pretty good. He is pretty good. And he is becoming Bo Nix's best friend. I believe that the Broncos are going to move on from Sutton sometime around this trade time or whatever. So that's going to allow more targets to Troutman as well. So, yeah, I definitely like this.
And the Broncos, again, they have Baltimore this week. Again, Baltimore's secondary has been struggling lately. Now, it might be a bad matchup if Kyle Hamilton is the one defending him.
Right.
But it depends. They might come out in 2 tight end sets. He can't defend 2 tight ends. Yep. And so this might be a good game so pick up Adam Troutman off the waiver wire. Not because we didn't say he was the number 1 tight end in fantasy, but the fact that he got you 18.5 points on the waiver. That's something you might want to look into. Demarcus Robinson, we've mentioned him once before, and I'm sorry, with Kupp and mother freaking Nakua being back, this dude is probably going to get some looks deep down the field. So big yards, touchdowns. This is their Rashid Shaheed piece.
I like that. Yes. I like that a lot.
Grab him. I'm telling you, grab him. Explosive guy. You need points. We went with Brandon McManus, kicker from the Green Bay Packers, because when your kicker jumps into the stands and takes pictures with the fans, then you got to go with Brandon McManus. He was number 6. He was tied for 6, as far as kickers. He put up 12 points. Here's the thing, though. They got a tough matchup this week. And I don't know if there's going to be a lot of tight touchdowns. This is an NFC North showdown between the 6-1 Detroit Lions and the 6-2 Green Bay Packers.
Ooh.
And
that
if Jordan
could literally be your game of the week.
This is the game of the week, hands down. And if Jordan Love is unavailable, it's Malik Willis out here.
Yep.
I don't know if he'll be able to move on that defense.
Yeah,
as long as he can get the ball into field goal range, McManus looks like he can kick it.
The coolest thing that I want to say about McManus real quick is when he had kicked that field goal and then just jumped in the stand. You heard the people say, well, I guess it was good because he
did the Lambeau leap.
And he ran before it even went through the thing. Like he knew that it was gonna hit. So that was pretty cool.
I'm telling you, when your kicker does the Lambeau leap, it's on like Donkey Kong. Like, you know what I mean?
Before it was even all the way through the uprights. He just
look. You got Christian Kirk right there. You got. You got Brandon McManus in there. All right, man, this is the defense you want. They're playing the Panthers. Enough said. Grab the Saints. Peachy already said Derek Carr's coming back. Saints are 2-6. They ain't trying to finish 2. They're not going 2-7 against the Carolina Panthers. No. This might be a week you're gonna want to pick up the freaking Saints defense. I promise you. Go grab them. And those are your Week 9 waiver wire pickups. Peachy, what a great episode. What are you looking forward to most in Week 9? I know our team's on a bye, but we talked about the Lions game. We talked about the Lions and the Packers, but that game might be like a bunch of bloodshed. Might not be high scoring.
Right.
What's a player that you feel like is going to show up and show out this week? Like who you got your money on?
Wow. I'm gonna have to go with Sonic and Knuckles, the same ones that carried which is David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
I like the name. I didn't know they had that nickname, Sonic and Knuckles.
That's their nicknames. Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay,
I think
I
Sonic
prefer
is
Tails, but cool.
I think. Right. I would too, but that's
what.
But
but Knuckles makes sense because Knuckles is the one that's punching you out.
Right. Yeah, Montgomery is the one with the speed, and Gibbs is the one that
I thought it was the other way around.
It may be, but
Gibbs is Sonic. Montgomery's to knock you out.
One of them is whichever one is the tough one is Knuckles. But yeah,
you think against that Green Bay's defense they're going to be able to run?
I really do, because division games are so weird. You know how weird they can get, and you just never know. They game plan for these games like in training camp. They get ready for these games or whatever. But
I typically think the game's going to be closer than what we think. But I'm starting AJ Brown against that Jacksonville defense, man.
100%.
I'm give me AJ's healthy. Jalen is in his bag. And I think Devontae Smith is like the unsung hero of the team. Like he's like becoming the stepchild. I think the Philadelphia Eagles is going to smash the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep. My son will actually be at that game.
Hey.
So I'm actually, even though like I told him, this is an NFC bout, so it's anti-NFC from now on out. It just has to be. So like I got to root for Jacksonville, but
I forgot. Yeah,
we're still gonna.
I was never rooting for the Eagles.
Have a blast at that game, so he's gonna go and check it out.
All right, man. Have a blast at the game. If you're watching this, for those in the comment section, drop your comments. We appreciate you, man.
We want you to
shoot your shot.
Ask us questions. Ask us whatever you want to ask. If we provide any advice to you or anything like that, if you just want to throw your lineups in there and ask us what's good, what's not, and this kind of, we love communication. Just ask us anything. Doesn't matter what it is.
Let's get it out. We'll see you next week on What's Your Fantasy. Peace out.